One of the first jobs I had in tech was to be a tutor for a coding bootcamp. And in this video, I want to talk to you about 3 lessons that I've learned being a coding tutor. One thing is that tutoring, coding, teaching, it helps you become a better coder. Because what you might think you know something, and then you might do it yourself and somehow you get something working. But the moment you have to explain it to someone else, that really tests you that you really know what you're doing, because you have to communicate what you did in a way that someone else understands. And if you have cracks in your knowledge, if you're iffy, sometimes they might ask you on it, sometimes it won't click to them. If it's not clicking for yourself, it won't click to the person you're helping as well. And this tutoring doesn't just happen in a job for tutoring. It happens in a software engineering job too, because you're going to have to teach other engineers what you did on a new technology, what you did in the code. You have to teach people, like maybe the project manager, people who aren't technical, or the engineering manager, about what you did as well in a way that's not technical for them to understand. So being able to communicate what you know is important, and it will really push you to make sure that you really know your stuff. The second thing is that I noticed that some students only cared about getting the outcome, getting the things working, while other students cared about understanding what was going on. And it shows that to be a good engineer, you have to understand more of the process rather than the result, because it's kind of like school. You just get things working and then it's done, but you're going to encounter problems again later on that you're going to have to deal with on the job, or especially before you can even get to the job, the interview. And during this interview, if you don't understand the process, you just understand the result, it's unlikely that they'll hire you. They needed someone to understand the process so they can get the result for the desired situation. So you want to be able to, and that's why I think a lot of people don't make it in the field, because they take these coding boot camps and they only care about the result. And at times, it's kind of designed from the system of the coding boot camps, because in the boot camp they pressure you to get the desired result. They grade you on the end result rather than more on the process of how you come up with it. And if you can understand the process of coding, how things work, you can overcome any problem you have and get any result you can. But if you just focus on the outcome, it's going to be hard to replicate. It's going to be hard to solve future problems that you have. You're going to be always relying on someone else to help you, rather than knowing how to solve the problem yourself. And the last thing that I've learned is that when a lot of people struggle with certain concepts, it's usually because it's not broken down simple enough. When things are connecting, you have to break down the problem solver in smaller parts. So you have to be able to break down complex problems into simpler steps. And if you're not getting it, you have to keep breaking down the problem into even more simpler steps. Because in coding, things flow. Like literally, this goes here, that goes there. And if they're not understanding something, there's probably like a jump that's happening. Like, oh, how does this API get to the database? Or how does this front end get to the API? There might be steps that's jumped. That's kind of implied from what they're trying to do. And by breaking down the steps into smaller processes, you'll be able to understand the code better. So by tutoring coding, it helps you really understand the concept better. You get to have experience communicating concepts to other people that you're going to need on the job, that you're going to need on the interview. You want to be process driven, not worry too much about the end result. Focus on the process so you can overcome any problem that comes across. And then if there's a problem that you're not really understanding, you have to be able to break that problem down into simpler steps so you can understand it better and solve it. That's all I want to share with you today. My name is David. I'm a freelance web developer, currently here based out of Las Vegas. If you need help building out a web app, website, SaaS app, learning how to code, feel free to message me and I can see how I can help. Thank you.